Welcome back, everyone, to the Mom with Moms podcast. We're here in Homedale, New Jersey with Carla Bushey and of Oak Hill Farms. I'm so excited to have you today.
Thank you so much.
We're still in winter, which has not been much of a winter. It's so weird.
Very weird.
Right?
I was 50 degrees, almost 60 degrees on Monday.
And like most of the days, we were just talking about running. It's like been really nice running weather because you don't have to worry about like the ice or anything. I hate running when it's like snowy out. That's the only time I won't run. But it's been like very unseasonable, which is weird. I think the kids are all like, what the heck? Where's
Great for
snow
the
days?
farm too, because everybody goes to the farm when it's a nice day.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
So it's been a good winter for us.
And you normally should, so we'll get into it a little bit.
Yes.
So Carla owns Oak Hill Farms in Homedale, New Jersey, and I'm so excited to have you on today. We've known each other for, I guess, a few years now.
Yes.
But I'll actually tell my own story too about how you kind of like changed things for my life when we went to a networking event, I guess, at the farm during COVID, maybe?
Yes, it was during COVID.
Yeah, and I remember maybe I just started following you, or you just opened the farm, and you were on a panel of different women who were working professionals and business owners, and they were all telling their own story. I think the topic was about like making the jump, like starting your own business, right? Or starting,
yes. How to, I think it was just get that fear out of the way to be able to do it.
And you were talking about how you had started Oak Hill Farms, but it was more of a side hustle at the time, right? Like in the beginning, and you still were working full time, and it took a while for you to really kind of make that jump from quitting your full time job to then transitioning to making this your full-time role, right?
Absolutely.
And I remember hearing your story, and we'll get into it a little bit, but I remember sitting there thinking to myself, and I was running Mom with Moms on the side at the time and working in sales, and I remember thinking, like, you can do this, but there was this giant voice in my head that was saying, no, you can't. Like, no, you can't, and like, there's no way you could do it. But I remember being like so conflicted and like upset with myself at the time that I like could be there, or I wanted to be where I am right now, but like it was just fear, really, like kind of talking to me. But it was a really pivotal moment for me, so I want to like thank you for that, because your story is inspirational, and I'm excited to talk a little bit more about that. So
Thank you. You're so sweet. I've loved to see everything you do and how you support so many other businesses and people. I mean, this is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So tell me, where are you from?
I am Peruvian, born and raised, and now I live in Monmouth County.
Okay.
In Red Bank, in Middletown.
Yeah.
Red Bank zip code.
It's so funny how that like.
Yes, Middletown is so big.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like you see the restaurants in Red Bank. It's not like actually in the like downtown Red Bank. It's like in the outskirts. So yeah.
Yes.
It's like that area.
And I've been here for longer than I've been in Peru.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't lose the accent.
So you went to high school here?
I went to high school there.
Oh, there.
I finished
Okay,
high school there.
So what made you move here?
Well, my mom and my dad at the time, they were separated.
Okay.
They were actually, I think at that time they were already divorced. And my mom was living here with an aunt that I have. And I said, like I have two choices. Either I stay here with my dad and my friends and everything, but I was always very adventurous, I want to say, independent.
Mm-hmm.
My parents raised me really independently. My brother too, like he lives in Europe, he's in London. So I always wanted to get out, and I ended up coming here, finishing school, no high school, but then, like my after high school studies, like with culinary. And I started there, and then I came here. So I said, I'm going to go try it out with my mom. Then my mom ended up going back to Peru, and then I just stayed by myself.
So you studied culinary skills?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I have a background in culinary. Yes, now that makes sense. The book,
yeah,
all the recipes.
All the recipes, which, by the way, and I'm not trying to like, oh my gosh, but it's like genuinely one of the cookbooks I have that I'm always like going back to. I think I make the rigatoni pasta like at least every other week.
That's so funny you say that, because when I became a mom,
mm-hmm.
life changes. And as much as I want to do like bread from scratch every day because I'm capable of, and many people are.
Yeah.
And many people who love food, they can do it just by maybe following a recipe. But the majority of us with hectic lives and moms who, even if they stay home and they don't have another hustle or another job, but just being with the children is like it's a full-time job, and it's
Yeah.
one of the hardest jobs.
Right.
So by the time that you're running kids around and you are trying to get some work done or picking up or dropping off and everything else, you don't have enough time to make food. So I wanted to make a book that it will be relatable to the everyday mom that gets home and she feels like, and now what?
Yeah.
And you have ingredients that are like very accessible that you can get at any supermarket.
Right.
That you
Not
carry in
too
your
expensive.
pantry, not too expensive.
Right.
So for the everyday mom.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
please keep making them because my daughter and I made kind of a habit in the new year. We started going to the library, like not once a week, but like probably every other week. And I love cookbooks. I own tons of cookbooks, and I'm always looking in the section, so I'll usually take a few out. But like the majority of them, I'll like look through them. I'm like, that sounds nice, but like
Exactly. Or you read the ingredients,
I'm like, my
and
kids
by
kids
the
won't eat
fourth
that.
one, you're like, okay, maybe not. Yes.
Yeah. So I have picky eaters in my house too, so I always have to. I'm like, but I wish that I understand why they do it. They want to like stand out. They want to be different. But like, I wish that the majority of cookbooks were like
Easier, right?
just easier and also just like more realistic. I think with how people actually eat. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
So
I agree. That was the concept behind it.
Yeah.
It will be a second book.
Good. I love it. I love it. So you moved here at what age?
I was 19.
Oh, okay. And so how did you start out? Where did you move to New Jersey first?
I moved to always New Jersey.
Always
yes.
New Jersey.
I'm a
Okay.
Jersey girl.
Okay. So how did you get started? What did you do first?
I went to school and I started working. So I have work in my field at the beginning. Everything like hotels. I have worked catering. Then I did corporate catering, restaurants. And when I became a mom, it became a struggle trying to find balance and trying to find the moment when I will spend time with my family rather than working at the restaurants or in food service on Mother's Day and Christmas and Thanksgiving and all those holidays that I was missing out. So I just made a change. Then I started little by little getting into corporate, and then I got a job doing sales in my field. It was in the bakery industry, so distribution and manufacturing. But I was I understood the business, the back of the business. So it was easier for me to get on the sales. When I went to interview for the job, I remember my boss at the time said to me, "You got the job." And I was very excited, but at the same time, I was wondering, how did he just give me the job? And I said, I just want to know that I have no sales experience. I know the back end of it. I am very capable to know the ingredients and the manufacturing and the distribution, but I don't know sales. He says, you can sell anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, well, I took it as a great compliment, but I was very scared, but I just went and did it, and it was great.
It's scary, right?
It's very scary.
Yeah. So we have very similar backgrounds. I worked in hospitality and restaurants,
Okay.
and my son was, I was 19 when I had him, and always worked in that hospitality field. I actually went to school for that, and I loved it. I had such a passion for it, but then, like you said, it was just like that grueling. Like I remember one year I was working in this beautiful restaurant, and I loved the job. I loved the people that I was working with. I was making nothing. And I was home on Tuesdays, and my son was in kindergarten. And I remember, like, I would only be able to pick him up from the bus like one day a week, and everyone else was like kind of, helping me on the weekends, and it was very unrealistic.
Yes.
So all the wine reps used to come into that restaurant, and I would always ask them, like, what's your schedule like? And it offered more flexibility and stuff. So that's how I started getting into wine sales. So it was a very similar kind of transition. Yes. But I remember the first day working in that sales role, I sat out in my car for probably a half hour before I got the guts to go into the store to talk. I was so scared.
It's scary.
It's scary.
It's scary.
But then, you just get used to it, and then you go after it, and it's fun, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I think a lot of that, like that hospitality world, it really trains you you apply a lot of those skills that you learn into so many different things in your life too. It's like it's a really solid work ethic that you learn.
and I've been through so many different jobs in my life that I think they were training me to do what I do today.
Right. Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Everything's a stepping stone, and you don't know at the time if you feel like you're stuck or like you're not going anywhere or you're not, getting there fast enough. It's really like, you look back and you're like, oh.
Yes, I agree.
So, so you have how many children?
3.
3.
I have 3 daughters, 20, 16, and 6.
Very nice. So a lot of different ages, a lot of different teenage, college, and
Yes.
is it first grade?
In first grade.
First grade. Okay.
A lot of different situations
Yeah.
arising and hormones going on
Aw.
for my husband.
Aw.
Yes.
So you had the 2 girls, and you worked in sales for how long?
I work in sales for 6 years.
Okay.
6, 7 years. And while I was towards the end of sales, like I want to say maybe it was the year before COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm lying. It was when Alexandria was born, so she's 6, and I had her, and I had my maternity leave. That's when everything started, because when Oak Hill Farms in my heart started, because I was bored on maternity leave.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I had my baby, and I love her, and I love spending the time with her, but it was not enough. Like I wasn't active enough as I am every day. I mean, you see me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a multitasker. I do many things at the same time. And my older kids, they were already middle school, elementary school towards the end. So it's not like I had 3 little toddlers and I was home all day. I had my mom helping me out too.
Okay.
My mom and I, how many cups of coffee we're gonna have in the day, and how many times I was changing my daughter 8 times a day just because
Right.
I didn't have enough. So I started working with the products that we were getting, that we were already doing. Like Rich and I, we moved to Middletown for like a better quality of life, less stressful, because he went through a hard time with his health and he had a
Your
heart
husband.
attack. So we decided to make a shift and have a garden, have some backyard animals, get better food, live a more relaxed life, a little closer to the water. He loves fishing, things like that, a little bit more land. So when we do that, we have chickens, we have bees, we have goats, and I started experimenting with the goat's milk from the goats and the wax from the bees and the honey. And I loved what I was doing. I was in love with the products I was making. I was researching a lot. My husband and I were spending all our weekends going places, really looking at what people were doing product-wise. We wanted to stand out, so I even went to New York to take some courses on like beauty, the back end of like how to do natural beauty. And it was really something that I became passionate about. So that's how I started making all the products at the
Wow.
farm. And it grew to the point where my kitchen didn't have any counter space anymore, because I have candles all over and lotions all over. And Rich and I, we were going to markets and saying, what are we doing with this business?
So you started selling them at local markets
Local
or
markets.
online too, or no?
We did, at the beginning, we did Etsy
Mm-hmm.
online, but what it was successful for me is when Instagram started their stories
Oh, right.
and their lives. I'm telling you, I want to say maybe 4 years ago, that's when I would take advantage of that and do a little live sale with some other 3, 4 small shops. And we will take turns and help each other out. So I will say, okay, these are my 15 minutes. Now make sure you go to this person's and she's going to start her life. And we just became very creative, trying to help each other and growing.
Okay.
And I will sell all the products that I made there. So I was showing what I was making the week off, and then I will say, I'm going to have it this day, and they will sell out. And it was a business that became a sellout business on a regular basis.
Wow.
And that gave me the validation that I needed to say, all right, maybe I need to take this business to another level.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is what I've been asking God, what is the next thing? Because I don't want to work for somebody for the rest of my life.
Right.
I always wanted to be independent.
You did. Like, even when you were younger, you felt like
Yes.
this was not permanent. This is not
No.
you were not content in the role that you were.
Yes.
Okay.
You see, many people love to work for somebody. They like the structure.
Oh yeah. Comfort.
The comfort.
Contentment. Yep.
They say, I want to work, I want a corporate job, I want to have benefits, I want to be
3
here.
weeks off a year or whatever. Yep.
Exactly. For me, it was not that.
Right.
For me, my dad is an attorney, and I always saw him working independently and working on his own and doing whatever he wanted with his life. And I always said, I want to be my own boss too. What my dad told me, which is very important, is you need few things to be able to do that. Not everybody can do that. You need a lot of determination and a lot of discipline and a great support system.
Right.
Because if you don't have those three things, I think it's just very hard to
Right.
make it happen. But so I was just going to markets with Rich and the kids. We will drag the kids with us, and they will learn how to sell, and they will learn how to talk about the products. And I think people like that.
Yeah.
I think people like the family that we are, or that and that we were at the time too, with little kids, just like being able to be little entrepreneurs. And they started following, and we started growing. I opened my own website, and when Rich and I thought about how we're gonna take this business to the next level, that's when I said, well, I'm gonna work pretty much 2 jobs. I'm gonna go work my corporate job in the morning doing my sales, and when I come from that, I am going to just focus on Oak Hill Farms. And I was working 2 full-time jobs
Wow.
for a solid year.
Wow.
And every weekend was a market weekend. We will go and set up markets. So it took a lot of sacrifice
Right.
as a family. It took a lot of sacrifice, like, and discipline for us. But we made it happen. And we started looking for land because at some point Rich said to me, do you want to open a store in Red Bank? Red Bank, downtown, beautiful. You always see blooming business, restaurants, a great downtown life. It's amazing. But that was never what I wanted. I wanted to bring an experience. I wanted for people to feel what we felt. Like, maybe you need to just go grab a cup of coffee, and you need the nature surrounding you, and you need to just get good products that are good for you, but you also need that extra message that we like to send as a family every time that you see when you go to the farm. We change it up. We send a message that is going to be inspiring. We try to inspire people by doing inspiring things too. So that's what we did. Rich found the land, and then we bought it. We couldn't think we were going to be able to buy that land in Homedale, but I always say God finds a way and sends us signs, and He makes it happen.
Because land is probably impossible to find now.
It
Very
is
good timing.
untouchable. But so I'm so grateful, and He built it. He built it from,
Wow.
it was land. We had sticks everywhere. You could never think. I have to show you pictures next time you go to the farm because it's crazy. And yes, and we built it. He did the plans, worked with people who built the barns, and we made it happen. But
So
then
how
COVID
long-
hit.
Yeah, I know. I remember that. So
Yeah.
that's when I really, I think, started following you.
Yes.
So I think my husband said there's like a cool barn that they're building down the street, because we live like probably about 5 minutes from your barn.
Yes.
And I was like, okay. And I passed it a few times, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together. But I remember that I think you had plans to open, but you couldn't. Or did you open?
No, so when we bought the farm in June 2019,
Okay.
and me, with not having my own business ever before in my life, thought that I was going to open in September. Now that I think about it, I laugh so hard, because if anybody who is trying to open a business, you think that you're going to have a 3-month turnaround time, it's impossible.
Right. And even the time frame that you did open is actually impressive.
Yes,
Yeah.
with COVID in the middle
Yeah.
of it. Yes. So what we did have built from June to September was the barn.
Okay.
So that was doable.
Right.
And I think I was accounting just that Rich was going to make it happen, and he did make it happen, but I didn't account with all the things that you have to deal with the township and all the permits and all that stuff that makes it harder.
Yep.
But when COVID hits, it's really hard to get all those meetings done, and it's really hard for us to get people to come in.
Mm-hmm.
It was the beginning of it. It was the worst part of it. People didn't know what they had to do. Everybody was home. It was a different mandate. So it was really hard. A lot of things were delayed. So we ended up getting all the permits to open in, I want to say, June 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And then we opened up August 2020.
Wow.
Yeah. So then we turned it around really quickly on our end. I said I worked really good under pressure. All the time, but it took us like that township situation a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But the township is great, and they always work with us.
Oh, that's nice. That's
Yes.
great. I love one thing about the farm. We've been many times. I think half of my like seasonal decor is all from Oak Hill Farms. Thank you.
I know. Thank you.
Every time I'm like, okay, she's done new stuff. What can I buy? My husband's like, oh my gosh. But the one thing that's nice is that you can go and it's no pressure, because you can come to the farm and you don't have to spend anything. You can come see the animals, right? And you can just, walk around, but you can grab a cup of coffee, right? So it's kind of really nice and welcoming, where like it's something that you can incorporate, like to break up the day with little ones, for moms, or even, for the bigger ones too, and just like, come and stop by and enjoy, or meet a friend, right, for a cup of coffee.
Yes.
And you can just kind of be and, like connect with people, or, buy some awesome products that you have. So I think that's what I like about it too. It's different. It's not like anything else in the area.
Yes, it is. We do have that retail barn, and of course, we live off the sales that we have, right? But with that being said, our family goes way beyond that. We really like to bring community together, and I think it's very important for people to be in a good state. And if we can offer that, why not? It's like I'm inviting you over for dinner or drinks over my house. It's kind of like the same thing. We open it to everybody. The only thing we ask in return is for people to be respectful,
right?
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And I think the community has enjoyed what we have done so far, and they're very grateful. Many are so grateful because they feel just like you, and I love to hear that from you,
right?
Because it tells me, okay, so that's how really people feel. They're always so thankful to us. And Rich and I, we say, oh, that was so nice. But to hear from you saying why it's so nice, it actually makes sense, and it makes me feel really good about it.
Yeah.
So
no,
thank you.
No, really, because I think too, you're going and going and going and going and doing all these things and putting things out there, right, for the ideas that you have, and the experience that you're trying to accomplish. But people maybe might not tell you, right? They'll be thinking it, or like they'll be coming and doing things and experiencing it, but they don't know why, right? So I think it's important for to kind of let people know, right?
Yes.
Even my daughter, who's 8, will ask, to come, which is interesting too, because it's like I said, it's not, I think the little ones enjoy it. It's really kind of for all ages, which I love. So, so it's 2.5 years now, right?
Yes, 2.5 years.
That's crazy. I feel like it's been a longer time than that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm surprised. I mean, thinking back, but I think it's also been a long 2.5 years with COVID, right? We've gone through a lot. So you've kind of helped us, entertain us and give us things to do, and give us a place to go during COVID too, which was really nice because it was outdoors. So there were also, events that you had and different things that you didn't have to be close to people, and you could still go and enjoy an experience.
I think that's what people have Oak Hill Farms in a special place in their hearts.
Yeah.
And I think we get a lot of those messages and a lot of those comments when people show up. COVID was the best time for us.
Right.
It was a moment of growth that I have never seen as a business.
Right.
It was crazy busy, and it was very, very successful. But with that, it was also, we experienced a lot of loss from people who were customers that became friends, that they experienced loss. So we felt that it was also our loss by getting to know them, and then we didn't see them, certain grandparents or uncles or aunts or even customers that we had. And I think makes a special connection from those people to who we are and what we do and how we took those relationships in a long term. And I think people are very grateful. and we really love that, and we're grateful to them as well.
Yeah. So you started your Instagram initially, right, to get these products out there. At what year? In what year?
6 years ago, because I opened it when I was on maternity leave.
Okay. So so the little one has only known Oak Hill Farms, right? She doesn't know any other life than your older two, right?
Yes.
It's interesting. So you have over 100,000 followers?
Yes,
More than that?
175.
Oh, wow.
Like
Okay. So almost 200,000 followers. So that's incredible growth. So what part of your business is most of your business online sales, or is it kind of like half and half now?
So I feel like right now, that's a great question, because I was on a podcast last year and I said that my business was 80% online and 20% was the barn. And right now, I do have to say that it's about 60% online and 40% the barn.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
it has grown.
Yeah.
Not that the online has gone down, but the barn has grown that much more.
Wow.
Which is beautiful, and I am so grateful to the community. And I saw a huge jump this holiday season.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I think, too, people follow you, but it's also, well, they're not going to buy it online. They're just going to stop by, and grab it, like,
Absolutely.
Because they're in the area or they want to go see things in person, too. So let's talk about the products, because I love them. And I have the Muscle Bomb. I have all kinds of kitchen decor items. I always make sure I get the dish towels. Just my family knows I'm not allowed to touch them. They're just for show. Can't use those. Use the ones that are stained.
Right?
And all kinds of just interesting things for the kitchen that you wouldn't even really think that you need, but you do. They're like useful, but also beautiful. So I love that. And you have just unbelievable taste. So I really, I'm always excited when you're adding new items and products to the store. But what are some of the items that are, best sellers that you love, that you use?
So I do use the beauty line that we produce. We produce all beauty, all candles, honey, of course.
The honey's great, yeah.
Yes. So our
honey.
best sellers as a company are the honey, the Muscle Bomb, and right now our beauty products.
Oh, interesting.
Our beauty products are really just flying out, because many people have, after they try them, it's hard to sell beauty.
It is.
There's so much out there.
It's very, very, we talked about this last time, actually. It's a flooded market. And you also don't know, like, my issue is, like, I'm always, like, apprehensive because, you get used to a certain product, but then it's, like, not working great, but you're like, like, there's so much. You go to Sephora and you're like, I don't even know what to do in here.
Exactly.
Right.
So, and it's people want different things. A lot of people don't need natural products, and they don't care about it, organic or natural. They just want something that it's gonna be accessible. They can get it at any pharmacy or Target or Walmart, right? And other people want more high-end products, and they don't care how much money they spend and how many ingredients that they cannot even read a container has, but it's high-end and they're paying for a brand. And other people want everything absolutely organic with 3 ingredients only, and some other people just go with like a natural organic type of thing. And all depends on the price and stuff. So beauty is definitely very hard to sell. But I do have to say that when people come to the farm and they try the products, they see, first of all, everybody's skin in the farm. I am so excited that all my girls that work at the farm, they use the products. Because when you go, you're going to see their skin, and you're going to be like, okay, yes, maybe I should use it.
Oh my gosh, now I'm going to go here. I'm going to go
maybe
to the
I
farm
should
after
use
I
it.
leave here.
Yeah. Their skin is stunning.
So what do you make? So what type of products?
So we do a lot of serums.
Okay.
And the serums are completely natural with an 80% organic content.
Okay.
And they are just really good for you, because there's nothing bad for you. So it's all the natural oils that are doing their job. That's what I say, the essential oils.
I need an eye cream.
And I have a very tasty night cream, and I have a daily moisturizer, and night serums and day serums. And we continue to grow the line. And people say, like, oh, you have any other projects going on? Do you have anything else? People always ask me. And I'm telling you, like, I'm really so close, because I think I want to really dig into beauty as a totally different business.
Interesting. Oh, like rebrand, a different brand.
Like,
got it.
Yes.
Got it.
Like,
very cool. So how did you know, like, were you always kind of making things when you were younger, like or did you know, like, just having a certain inclination of like what to buy based on like ingredients? Like, how did you know how to make all of these products?
I was always very creative,
Mm-hmm.
and when I was passionate about something, I will not stop until I know everything about it.
Okay.
That's how I was. So that Carla, that little Carla, has made the person that I am today. So if I am really passionate about the products that are natural, that are good for you, and that are accessible to people, I get very good, high quality ingredients that we get from the farm, and I add other ones that I buy raw ingredients, but very high end. I'd rather put in a product out of stock rather than replacing it with something comparable.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, and I and I just mix. So, like I said, I took some courses with how to work with essential oils and how to work with different oils and what mixes well and what skin types. My mom, when she was younger, she also did a course on skincare. So a lot of her knowledge and things like that has
Oh,
helped.
interesting.
And I work with a holistic person as well, with a little bit of a background on, in general, how to heal things.
Okay.
So I am not an expert, but what I have done, it has worked so far, and I do go through a testing process of 4 to 6 months before I put a product out in the market.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Very
So
interesting. I wouldn't even know where to start with any of that. So good thing we have you.
and it just becomes very natural now, but it has been a long road now that I've been doing this and just really working on it. Takes a
Wow.
lot of time.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
So you take a lot of the winter to really plan for the year ahead.
Yes.
Because I know you close for a month, right? Usually.
Yes,
And-
we close from December 25th, from Christmas until February 1st, we reopen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That's nice. You get to like kind of, recharge and plan and figure out what. I'm sure you're still working a ton, but
Yes. So,
But
for example, for this holiday season, all my collections, they're already curated and they're already purchased.
wow.
So that's what we went to do. I go with my store manager. I go with Joanna to market in Atlanta, and that's where we got done all of that.
That
So
must be
everything,
so much fun.
it's so much fun. It's a lot of work.
I bet. Yeah, you really have to be very calculated and,
Yes. With your
ahead of the
spending too.
trends, right?
Yes.
That must be, such a nerve-wracking type of, environment because you want to make sure you're buying the right things, right?
Exactly.
That are going to sell, in the future.
Exactly.
So it's interesting.
Exactly.
So family owned and run. I know your mom is a huge help to you and helps out with all kinds of different things in the business and also,
Yes.
and I know all of this just because I've followed you for so long. So I think it was funny when we were talking, what was it, a few weeks ago, and you texted me and I was like watching your story and I was like, that was so weird. It's like my ears ringing. But you are also a mom and very involved in your daughter's lives, and you spend lots of time with your husband. What do you like to do around town when you're not working? I know you're always at the farm, most days, but you do also find a lot of time to spend with your family. So what do you guys like to do?
So a while back, my husband used to put everybody in the car on a weekend, and we would just, before the farm, and we would just go out to Pennsylvania or maybe Hunterdon or other counties around and just find a place and find something to do.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it was farms.
Oh,
Now that we have the farm and we like to be always close to the business, we don't have the luxury to do that. But during summer, you probably will find me at the beach. And we travel. We
Oh.
like to travel. So it's pretty much for us, we work nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
Which, when you love what you do so
Yeah.
much,
Mhm.
it really is not like really working.
You don't really dread Monday.
You don't really, yes.
Yeah. It's not like
Oh, it's Monday.
Yeah.
It's fine.
you never know what day it is usually.
Yes, you never know, exactly.
Yeah.
I just only know because of the calendar that we have at the farm and what we have going on, which workshop, oh, it's weekend, it's story time. But besides that, I know, I never know, like you said, like I never know what day of the week it is. But so we will work straight for many weeks and then we just go away.
Okay.
So that's kind of like our cycle of doing things. We travel a lot, maybe 6-8 times a year.
Oh wow.
So we
Okay.
travel quite a bit,
Right.
and that's how we do it. These are our weekends, our little bigger weekends.
Oh, I love that.
It gets harder now because when you have kids with different spring breaks and things like that, it's not as it used to. But we like to do that, and then we go to the beach during summertime, and we do a lot of like dinners out with friends, with our family. But we also enjoy our backyard, and I love the hot tub, and my little one jumps with me in the hot tub, like on that
Oh,
X day. So we do just like silly things like that. But and I work out, so you'll see me outside running. I think the entire town sees me running. It's
I
like,
know.
oh, I
Yeah,
saw
me
you
too.
running
Yeah.
today, right?
I just started running with my dog, and I got we have two dogs, and one is lazy and won't run, but the other one he's still a puppy, I guess. He's a little over a year, and he's a Cavalier, and he loves to like leap and back and forth in the yard. He's always running. So I'm like, I think he could run with me. Our lab, who's 7, we actually when we got her, I was like, oh, I have like a running buddy. She would run like a mile and then done. Like not the complete opposite. And then I have this little guy, so I'm like, I guess he ran this whole week with me like 3 miles a day. It's hysterical.
That's
I put him
great.
back after the 3rd mile. I'm like, I don't know if this is safe for you anymore. Bad for your joints.
That's
but
great.
but now everyone's like waving, they're like cracking up because he's like this big.
Tiny. Yes. So
So it's fun.
I guess the entire town sees me running,
Yep.
and I do bar early in the mornings.
Oh,
I
wow.
love that.
So a girlfriend of mine, actually, she's going to be on an upcoming podcast, has been begging me to come to her 6:15 bar class on Saturday mornings, and I'm like, I need sleep. I am like,
Okay.
I am a person who I cannot function if I don't get at least 7 hours of sleep. Like I'm a completely different person. I can't think straight. I have like a weird, like an AFib problem with my heart. So I feel drained and I like
Yes.
need that. So if I don't get it, so I'm always like kind of, but I would love to start doing, cause I run and that's it. And
Yes.
I need something else, I think. You know what I mean?
You will love bar then.
Yeah.
Because I love running just like you, and bar just completes me. And I am a 6 a.m. bar class.
You are. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But you don't need a lot of sleep.
4
No.
hours.
4. Oh my gosh. See, that's how you
Maybe
get it all
that's a
done.
problem for me. Maybe I have to revisit that. I need at least 6, I think.
But can you sleep more than 4?
My eyes just open.
Oh, they open. Okay. And you're just like done. Like you got your
My
REM
husband is
cycle.
scared. He says like as you get older, you start sleeping less and less.
Okay.
Right? My husband says like when you are actually like older,
Mhm.
people don't need much sleep.
Right.
You notice that they don't sleep so much. So what are you going to sleep, an hour? And that's a big joke in
that's
my
so
house.
funny.
And I said like no, like I hope I sleep too.
Does he need a lot of sleep?
A little bit more than me.
More than you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I admire, there's a lot of actually people leadership that say that's a characteristic that they all like don't need a lot of sleep, which is interesting. So, yeah, I just need the sleep. I don't know. I wish I could just I need to start. Maybe I'll go to bed earlier. I don't know. But the nice thing about working out at that time, I don't like to work out like even late morning or in the
I can't.
evenings because I don't like to take a shower again, and it's like too much. And like in the evening, you want to be with your family and stuff.
For me,
so-
I would just skip it.
exactly.
I get too busy.
Yeah.
I get my workout done and I start my day, and then I don't find any other time to work out. That's the problem.
Right.
It's
Right.
either early in the morning or it's nothing.
Yeah.
So I have to.
Right. Right. So what do the girls like to do in town? Anything they're involved in, or any different programs that they like?
Yeah, so Gianna, my middle one, she is a competitive dancer. I have to talk about Gianna and the little one because they are like home and in town.
Mhm.
But Gianna is a competitive dancer. She dances at Jersey Shore Dance Academy.
Okay.
My little one, she is in the process of testing everything. So she likes soccer and she's doing piano and she did dance. She didn't like it so much. Now she says she wants to do gymnastics. She went to the ice rink and she says she wants to do hockey, I think.
Oh my gosh,
Crazy
my daughter's like
things.
that too. She
Crazy
signed up for
things.
everything.
Yes.
She's like, oh, chess club, okay. Like
Yes. And she can't wait for summer to do pool, like swim.
Oh, that's so
and
nice.
she's into everything. And I said something will click and then
That'll
that
be
will
her
be her
thing.
thing. But
Yeah.
I am trying to give her the opportunity to try everything.
Right.
And
Right.
whatever she loves, it will stick.
Yeah.
And myself is in college, so things change,
Yeah.
and she's
Different.
just
She's
like
in
an
school.
adult now.
She's an adult. Yeah, finding her own way.
Yes.
Right. Aw.
Exactly, finding her
Um,
own way.
So I don't want to go without mentioning how you are always making these incredible videos on Instagram. You have this tremendous following, and in addition to the business, but you also have a whole kind of almost like a cooking segment, I guess, right? Which
It
is
looks
not the
like it,
way-
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where you're putting great recipes out all the time. So tell me a little bit about that, because it seems like you can just put like something together. You look in your fridge, or do you plan it out, or like how does
So
it all work?
I think content creation is really hard.
Okay.
I think people who really do social media, it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I do it by myself. I
Right.
don't have any help on social media. I
Do you know like people that do similar, like that you follow, or friends of yours across the country? Do they have help with
they,
their?
they do have an assistant
They do.
or somebody that records for them, or they got so big to a point that their husband quit their jobs and they can help them out.
Well, but only that's a unique husband, because not like if my husband quit his job, he couldn't help me with social media.
My husband quit his job and he doesn't help me with social
No,
media.
that'd be the last
But,
thing.
but my husband
Yeah.
quit his job to be able to work the farm full time too,
Right.
and focus on real estate. But still, my husband cannot take a good picture of me. That's my big joke on social media.
Right.
Yes, no, he's
Right.
no good for. I have to help him with his content on social
Exactly.
media.
Exactly. Yeah.
But so I just get a good tripod and I just do recipe. I think the way why I could put more content out is because recipes come so natural to me.
Interesting.
So to me,
I-
is
I-
when you want to do something on social media, you really need to find your niche and you really need to be strong in it. Because if you are, then it becomes so easy and you don't feel like, oh, it's such a struggle to do this because I can find the time and how do I do it? And it takes me this amount of hours a week and I cannot make it happen. But cooking, like I have to cook every day.
Yeah. So a lot of those recipes, that's like what's for dinner, oftentimes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I try to plan some things that is holiday time. I have to start doing things for Easter. I have to start doing things for St. Patrick's. But then I have to tell my family, hey guys, this week we're gonna eat a lot of St. Patrick's stuff, okay?
And are they picky eaters, or they're pretty adventurous?
My little one is
Oh, okay. Yeah.
very picky.
My daughter's very, very picky, but my son always was too. My husband's more of like a meat and potatoes kind of guy, so
Yeah.
like it's always like tricky. I'll eat anything.
Me too.
I love to cook. I've never used to love to cook, but then it's kind of grown on me. I think because it's expensive to eat out, and it's actually become like more therapeutic for me in the evenings, where I'm like, this is just my time. They've said like actually cooking is like a form of meditation, which is interesting.
Yes.
I read that recently, and I was like, that makes sense. Like, because I would never be the person that would want to meditate in the morning. Like, it's just not something I'm interested in doing.
I know.
Right.
Me either.
Right.
And I completely agree that it's therapeutic. For me, when I was really stressed out in moments in my life, you will find me at midnight baking.
Interesting.
Flour all over, and I will be really messy, and I will love it, and I will take a shower and then go to bed very happy.
So you prefer to bake than cook?
I think baking is my passion, but I can bake the things that I really love to bake, like I cook every day.
Right.
Baking needs a little bit more thought behind it,
Okay.
a little bit more measures.
Got
you
it.
know? And well, cooking, I'll just fix anything in 1, 2, 3.
Oh, interesting. Well, I love your recipes. Again, I've had the spicy rigatoni. We make a lot. 2 Thanksgivings in a row, we made the sweet potato recipe was in there.
I saw your pictures.
They're
You tagged
so
me.
good. What else do we make? Oh, the spaghetti carbonara I made not too long ago,
Yeah.
and that was a really good one. My
was
whole
good.
family liked that one, thank God. Like,
That was
please,
good.
work with me here.
Yes, that was good.
But I made like a bunch. I forget the buffalo dip I made.
Yes.
For so
Super well.
clearly I use it.
I see it. Thank you.
So I always ask everyone, what are your favorite Monmouth County restaurants
Ooh,
when you're not cooking?
when I'm not cooking, I actually go out a lot
Oh, do you?
with friends and my family. But I have few. I do love Red Horse.
Okay, I haven't been there. I've been there when it was like fromage. I actually worked there when it was fromage.
Really?
Yeah, like a million years ago. I was a bartender. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I love Red Horse. Rich and I, we go little often. I love Undici.
Oh, actually I've been there once, but I have to get there.
They have a great wine list. I really, really enjoy it. And if it's something more local or something just like a sandwich that I want to grab, things like that, I love Big Mike and the
Oh,
Little Red Barn. It's a
Oh.
little far out, but he has such an amazing sandwiches. I mean, the food is so good.
And he does like more dinner grab and go items too,
Yes,
right?
and you know what? If anybody's ever looking for, he does amazing catering. I only
Oh.
cater from him, and I have every party I have. It's not your regular catering food. He really puts any theme together for you,
Oh,
which is I love.
that's interesting.
Yes.
I think he was a chef at another restaurant
He was
before
a chef at Nicholas.
That's right. I knew that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that says a lot.
Yes. He's
We
amazing.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, very talented. And things I like to do. My husband and I, we love to go to Atlantic House and grab a nice drink. Their drinks are always awesome. Sit at a bar, grab a nice appetizer and a good cocktail. They have really good cocktails.
They do.
there.
I've been there. Yeah.
And
I love
yeah.
Atlantic Highlands in general. I just love
Yes.
that area. It's a
So
nice,
quaint.
Yeah, it's very cute.
So pretty.
Yeah. Years ago, I also worked at this restaurant where Strata Pizza is now. It was called Julia's. I worked there for like a summer, but it was a beautiful bar and restaurant, and I was young and in my 20s, so it was always fun, like going out afterwards down to on the deck and all of those places.
Yes,
it's
so
a cute
fun.
little town.
Yes,
Yeah.
so fun.
So, well, thank you so much for joining. Where can everyone find you?
Everybody can find me on Instagram every day
At Oak Hill Farms.
Oak.hill.farms.
Oh, right.
And or Oak.hill.farms, the barn, for like the barn and all the happenings. That we're really active now because I finally have an assistant.
Oh,
so
beautiful. Okay.
yeah, so now we're
helps a
really
lot.
active, and it's gonna help a lot. And also at the farm in Homedale, 177 Stillwell Road, Oak Hill Farms.
And then, if for anyone listening that's not in the area, you can also buy your products on your website too.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
oakhillfarmsnj.com, and we have an app now. So
Oh,
if they
that's
just go to the
exciting.
App Store, yes, they can just pull up or Google or the App Store Oak Hill Farms NJ, and we will pull up, and we do interactive live sales every Sunday at 7 p.m.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, upcoming things with the Monmouth Moms. We are in planning mode again for all of our awesome events that happen throughout the year. We have an event announcement that's coming up very soon, so we're excited. Stay tuned for that. We'll probably be announcing that the first full week of March. Just have a few odds and ends to clear up. And then check out our new guides. If you're looking for new summer camps or new programs, activities, just things to keep the kids busy this summer, check out the Monmouth Moms Summer Camp Guide. There's lots of great programs in there, day camps, day activities, just all kinds of stuff that you can sign the kids up for. And our birthday party guide is coming out soon too. That's probably our most popular guide of the year. So all kinds of new venues, bakeries, entertainment, all kinds of new fresh ideas to plan those birthday parties for the little ones. And as always, make sure to check our local events calendar. There'll be events listed on there from Carla's Barn at Oak Hill Farms, and all kinds of local community events and things to do each weekend and during the week too. So make sure to check everything out on themomouthmoms.com and on our Instagram at themomouthmoms. And we'll hope to see you this soon.
Thank you so much.